Most people avoid pain, but the reality is real growth only happens when we sit through the pain. I know, honestly, if I clicked on a video and then someone said that, I'll probably just exit right away. I'm just gonna be honest. It's just, sadly, it's just the reality of life. And I feel like we're all shortchanging ourselves when we're just, you know, lying to ourselves. And I feel like this is a big issue in our current culture, is that we're thought to fix pain fast. Please make it go away. And we're really good at distracting ourselves. And I'm not blaming anybody. Like, I'm no better. Like, you could definitely refer to my couple of sober episodes. Like, I know I've been there and I'm still there. I get it. But I think the damage is this constant idea, this pervasive idea that runs deep in society, that you can escape pain, or here's that thing, here's that cure that's going to fix everything so you don't have to feel pain. But we're better off just understanding that it's part of life and just accepting it and finding a way to just come up with a system to make it all bearable. Now, I don't want to sound depressing today, I promise, but it's just like everything changed for me when I started seeing it as a sort of like like a lever where you have weight on one side, and then it's just the other side needs to be balanced. That's just how I started seeing it. You can just have just good, fun, joy, nothing, pure happiness, bliss, you know, and then not have anything on the other side. You can just have, like the famous slogan, sucks, I can't talk today, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, or whatever slogan it was. And then on the other side, have no, like, nothing. You need to have, now I'm not promoting, this is probably not the best example, but you get my point. My point is, you can't have infinite pleasure without having hard work, pain, or anything to balance it out on the other side. And this is what I kind of wanted to talk about. It's just like when we're going through like so much pain in life, especially that I feel like this year has been really hard so far for the collective, because it's just like there's a lot of reason for that. This is why I also love astrology. Um, I don't, the way I use astrology, for me, it's not about prediction. Yes, some people use astrology to make predictions. I'm not interested in that. For me, it's more like I use it to understand energies of what's going on. The way I like to use astrology is no different from the way you check into the weather forecast channel to know if it's gonna rain on Monday, if it's gonna like what's gonna be the, especially in Canada, we needed to check in to the forecast so we know, is there a snowstorm coming? Is there like, are we gonna have rain? Are we gonna have, what is happening? That way we can know which outfit to take, how to dress up, to wear the warmest boots, the warmest coats. That way we can go outside and just face and brave the world and the harsh, weather, but we can be prepared. So this is exactly how I see astrology. And I'm saying all this just to say that there's a lot of astrological reasons as to why, because planets and all that, they're just energies that definitely affect us here on Earth. Now, people like to say that astrology is so woo woo, but like it's not. It's the same way when there's like a full moon, the tides, rays, and all of these things, there are some tangible effects, right? Because we're all energies. So I don't know why I brought up the astrological point, but my point is, oh yeah, I was just trying to say that there are a lot of astrological reasons this year, because there's a lot of planets that are changing position after a very, very long time. And this is a lot of activities happening in the cosmos. So I feel like we're all feeling those energies. And I'm really still finding out how to infuse astrology into in the sessions, like, in the episodes. So this is something I want to dive deeper into here. But I just wanted to say that you're not crazy. If you're going through a lot of pain, this year, and it's like a lot of challenge. You're not crazy, and you're not alone. And at the same time, there's really no way out but through it. So this is what I wanted to talk about. The only way out is through. Because the problem with pain, when we try to escape it, is that pain doesn't disappear. It's like energy, right? You can't really destroy energy. Energy just like it just flows. It's so pain is the same way. It's just it doesn't disappear. So when you just escaping it, avoiding it, it just buries itself really deep inside of your body, and then often it just only comes back later, much louder. So an avoidance tends to create, because the energy has to come out somewhere, or that bubbled up energy and frustration has to release. It's like a valve, like it has to come out somehow. And when we get lost in that avoidance game, often it just translates into addiction, procrastination, you know, um, feeling that you stuck or burnout. So, and also something I see is that a lot of people, this is a classic in our society. Many of us, we avoid, you know, our favorite avoidance, our favorite drug of choice is staying busy, staying busy, and really like loading up our calendars to the max, that we will always busy, that we don't have the time to think about anything. Got to keep the train going, working overtime, so you don't ever have the time to think. Nothing, no slowing down. But what often happens then is that we break down later. It's not everything is linked together, and nothing is a coincidence. And another thing that I find is that when we start suppressing insecurities instead of facing it and trying to heal it, often it just the imposter syndrome is just gonna start rearing its head into your life much louder later. So, like I said, we all do it using distraction. I did it too. I still do it. Like a lot of another drug of choice can be emotional eating. So it's just like there's so many, like the point is we just have to, like I'm saying, that's like I said at the beginning, I don't think our society is helping us by this constant narrative that, oh well, here's that drug, you can just delete all your pain. Instead we should be promoting a more proactive approach, right? And understand that the hardship and the pain is all part of life. That way we can start learning to have great tools so we can tackle those hardship. And the good thing, because it's not all doom and gloom. I know today's episode is like, oh my God, it sounds so depressing. But the good thing is sitting in pain, it doesn't destroy you, it transforms you. And in a good way, because when you actually let the pain in and you just invite it to sit next to you, you let yourself feel it, and then you really start to understand yourself from like another perspective. And another fascinating thing I find about pain and going to like dark nights of the souls is that pain reveals a different aspect of you that you didn't even know was there. So pain has it has this capacity to reveal great truth, right? It's just strips down the ego down to its core, and it really shows you what needs healing. For example, and we know that in so many aspects of life. For example, the gym, we know the gym hurts, but then it rebuilds your body. We know that grief aches, but then it's just like we know all of these things. Like discipline sucks, but it pays out later. We know that about a lot of things in life. But for whatever reason, we just like, when it comes to emotional pain, emotional, like, we want to avoid it at all cost. But like, I think we need to really start practicing and facing these things and building our own like tool set to help us get through life, right? So many things you could do, like breathe through it. When you start feeling anxious, you don't run, you pause and you take a deep breath. You can name it. say what you're feeling, because by naming it, you're acknowledging it and you feel seen, right? That also kind of gives you a sense of control over what's happening, because we're humans, we have a lot of ego, we like to feel in control. And don't distract yourself, but what you can do is direct. Now there's no shame, there's nothing wrong with like you directing the pain, right, into action. So you feel that's the difference, right? You feel it first, and then you can direct all of that energy into different things like journaling, taking like a walk outside, like with yourself, where you're really thinking, and taking that pain for a walk, right? And you can use that pain to train, to create something, so you transform that pain. But you need to sit down with it, feel it, and acknowledge it first. And then it start feeling like a part of you, and it start feeling safe, right? And then we need to always remember that discomfort isn't dangerous. Discomfort isn't danger, and it's literally the edge of growth, right? So I just wanted to say that we need to remember that on the other side of pain is growth, it's clarity, it's strength, it's integrity, it's peace. So it's not just about surviving the pain, it's about letting it change you, because that's the purpose of pain. It's supposed to change you. It's like that diamond goes to like extreme pressure so we can have the diamond. So this is how we need to start seeing it, right? And everything meaningful that we build kind of comes with a sort of pain. So we need to learn to find ways to embrace that better, and understand that the only way through it is literally sitting through it, and just opening the door for it, and letting it, just go through your body. So to recap, I just want to say, like, we cannot keep escaping and running away from pain, right? We can't avoid pain forever. We have to remember that when we avoid pain, it creates more chaos, it creates deeper suffering. So do we want to suffer more? No, we don't. And then when we sit through the pain, it really unlocks healing. That's literally how it works. It's like a, this balancing act. You need to sit through it for it to unlock the next level, and for it to show you what it's trying to show you. And like I said, find your whatever methods work for you, like movement, breath work, yoga, whatever, like artistic endeavors. Just find some methods so you can cope with that pain better, and understand that there's a payoff. There's always a payoff at the other side of pain, right? It's strength, clarity, and yeah, just learn to like embrace it. And I feel like we're all will be like a better off in life by just approaching pain like this, and seeing it as a transformative tool that is trying to reveal the next version of yourself. On that note, I also really want to say that I think it's really really important for you to understand yourself better. And if you wanted to dive deeper into yourself so you can deal with the pain better, I'll leave all the link down below so you can get a birth chart reading with me, and also an Akashic Records reading with me, so you could understand yourself better, so you don't have to go through the pain all by yourself.